Whether you are a parent, a young person with a dream, or someone who is striving to succeed against all odds, there is one book that you should read. The Marquise Hill story, From the Cradle to the Bowl by author Sherry Hill, is a compelling story of the life of New England Patriots lineman Marquise Hill, whose 24-year existence was tragically cut short in May 2007 during a ski accident in Louisiana. Told by his mother as only she could, this book provides a candid account of a little boy growing up in Louisiana. It's narrated from the perspective of a grieving mother who walked this journey with her son, giving all of herself as a constant source of guidance and support. The Marquise Hill story, From the Cradle to the Bowl, is a tell-all and aims not only to speak to sports lovers, but especially to those who have experienced loss and grief. It is candid and pulls no punches in its sheer honesty and plain exposition of facts and circumstances surrounding the life and death of a young man who had not yet lived to his full potential. So, no matter what your lot in life, the Marquise Hill story, From the Cradle to the Bowl, will speak to you. To find out more information about the author and the book, visit www.fromthecradletothebowl.com. That's www.fromthecradletothebowl.com. We're here today with best-selling author Dedra Johnson at the Richard Wright Library in Jackson, Mississippi. She's involved in her Mississippi leg of her tour for her book, Sandra's Letter to Tomorrow. How you doing, Dedra?
Doing great, doing great.
Dedra, we have had a very full day today.
Yes, we have.
And it's beginning to wrap up, though, but I just want to get an idea of what has this visit been like for you?
It's been really nice to get outside of just the usual bookstore crowd and to meet, the school was great. It was great talking to the high school kids. It was great talking about the issues in the book with them and seeing them getting so excited about the books and talking about what they wanted to buy and which one they were going to borrow from each other. So it was really heartening to see readers, as opposed to, your publishers will tell you, oh, nobody reads anymore.
Right.
So it was really good to see young readers who are interested just in books, for books' sake and are reading. So, yeah.
What would you say to those who have not heard about the book? How would you describe what Sandra's journey is like in your book?
I say that her journey is one of self-discovery and understanding, a real maturation process where she not only learns to understand herself, but she understands that people aren't always who they say they are, and that you really have to have faith in yourself and take care of yourself and hold on until you find the people who are going to support you.
Here is a part of my interview with best-selling author Tony Lindsay. Metairie, Louisiana, with best-selling author Tony Lindsay. Tony is the best-selling author of 5 books. His latest book is One Dead Lawyer. How you doing, Tony?
I'm well. All
right, Tony, we just finished a book discussion here in Metairie. Why don't you talk about, first of all, your overall experience this weekend? You made your first trip to Mississippi during book discussions and book signings. You're here in Louisiana for the first time in 5 years. What has this weekend been like for you?
Oh, it's been a lot of fun. Great hospitality. Met some wonderful people. Had a really good time out at the Richard Wright Library, and now we're Borders in Louisiana. It's just a great place. I'm glad to be here.
Okay. Well, Tony, you're a very diverse writer. I've said it several times this weekend. Your books, whether you're reading The Urban Affair or reading Chasing It, Street Possessions, and now going to your new mysteries, they all are so different. What would you like to say to your readers out there that have been reading you throughout the different books? What would you like to say to them?
Well, first of all, thank you. Thanks for continuing to read me, and I hope never to disappoint. Please continue reading me. Thanks again.
Okay. Your last 2 books, Tony, are part of what's called the David Price Mystery Series. What got you into writing mysteries? Why did you choose mysteries?
I was told that was a good way to break into the market before I was published. They were like, well, you need to write a mystery if you want to break into the market. So I researched them and I started writing mysteries. That was my entry into the getting published.
Okay, since you mentioned about getting published, Tony, there are aspiring authors that are out there that will see this video. What would you say to those who might have started writing, they haven't got anything published, haven't tried to submit anything? What advice would you give to them?
Keep reading and stay diligent. Contact people in your genre. See the genre that you're writing for. Contact writers and publishers and agents in your genre. Send your stuff out. Just understand who you're writing for, and just whatever you do, keep writing.
Okay. Again, our guest here in Metairie, Louisiana, is best-selling author Tony Lindsay. For more information about him, you can go to www.tonylindsay.net. Tony, thanks a lot for being with us.
Well, thanks for having me, sir.
Okay, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Probably one of the most humbling events I've taken part in the past 3 years was working with platinum-selling recording artist and best-selling author Corey C. Murder Miller. Now, there's been a lot written about him over the years. In fact, blogs and also even the news stations have made jokes about his name, about his work, and also what he really stands for. But none of the things I heard about him proved true when we actually began working together in 2006. In fact, he was able to give me the privilege of being the first to interview him on television, his first interview in 5 years. Platinum-selling recording artist, best-selling author, father, the man that is C. Murder is more than what meets the eye. Here's a part of our conversation about his book, about his name, and also his purpose. We're back here in Borders with none other than Corey C. Murder Miller. How's it going, C?
Going good. So.
All right. C, we're here today with best-selling author Tony Lindsay also. Last time we talked to you, we were just kicking off the Hip Hop and Books project, connecting book readers with music. Now we're going into the second month. Why don't you just stress again to the viewer, C, why it's important for all music lovers to get into books?
I mean, it's very important because one thing what I see is we got a lot of fans out there, and we can use our music to bring the fans in to start reading. You see what I'm saying? And I mean, the whole reason we're doing this with the hip-hop book rally and stuff like that is to educate. And what better way to educate than to get some of the homies to start reading, you know?
Right. See, one of the things, and I mentioned it today, that impressed me so much with you is that you've read hundreds of books yourself, all different types of genres. If there are people who are seeing this today, see, and they are big fans of your music, and they want to find a book that they can enjoy, that they can read, what would you tell them to do?
Well, I tell them to read the back of the book first and go into the, like a Borders bookstore and see what section that would interest them. Then read the back of the book first and then read a chapter first, you know what I'm saying? But if they not a reader at all and you feel like you're going to get real bored, then I give you, what I want to tell you is to read 3 chapters at least. Because I think that once they start and read at least 3 chapters, they're going to be all the way in tune to the book. Be very interested to finish it, you know.
Right. See, well, you have fans all over the country. We know that for you, you have your first book out, Death Around the Corner. Your next book is Street Glory. And you still find time to enjoy other books. For your fans out there that may not realize, I mean, you yourself was an honor student in school. So when it comes to staying in school, why would you encourage them to make sure they get their education and to stay in school and try to do well?
Because school is very important because you got to have something to fall back on. And not just for job-wise, but just for, you know, to be, it's common sense. You know what I mean? It's going to be a lot of situations in life to where you're going to need an education and go back on the stuff that you've learned to help you. Just filling out the application for school, for a job, anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Education is real important.
Okay. See, one of the things that fascinated me when we started working together last year was how you got your name. I think it's important to let people know, how did you get the name C. Murder? Tell them where that came from.
Yeah, you know, never judge a book by its cover. That's what I say. And how I got the name C. Murder was me, myself, boasting on my lyrics, boasting on my style of rap and stuff like that. You know, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody ain't going to believe in you. So I say, when I get on the track, I murder the track. You see what I'm saying? So that's all it is, just me boasting myself. Yeah.
Okay. All right, if our viewers want to find out more information about C, they can go to MySpace, www.myspace.com/CMurder, or they can go to www.deatharoundthecorner. Thanks a lot, C. We appreciate it, man.
All right.